Double Bach, Book 5. So this is the V1 of the first movement at the end of Book 5. Look, if you can play your V2 part really, really well at a nice tempo, this is not a challenge for you. There are a couple of spots where we're going to talk about bow management and string crossings, and a couple of spots where we'll talk about clean shiftings, but the skills are essentially the same as your double Bach at the end of Book 4. So if you've been doing your review really well and you have polished that, this will be a walk in the park. So let's have a play of the first chunk. We'll take it up to the first solo at the top of the page, second page, and then we'll stop and talk about any niggly bits in there and go forward in the same way. Okay? So we hear the second violin play their part. They give us the 1 and 2. And then the solo begins. Now, in that first page, the only thing that usually hiccups is from bar 13, lucky 13. So let's play 13 again. We're in third position. 1 and 2 and shift. 1 and 2. Okay, that line again. Sometimes the rhythm is just a little haywire. So start at bar 13. Ready, and up. 1 and 2. So 1 and 2, 1. Shift. Oh, and that little spot, was the intonation a bit wobbly? Listen first. Again, play. Ready again. Just be careful that you have a nice semitone. And then a tone to your fourth finger. That note always goes a bit flat. Cross. Ready, play. One more time. Okay, now we'll continue on, but we're going to stop again in a second to talk about second position. Here it is, second position. You got to shift there. It makes the next phrase really easy. So let's play bar 19. We're in third position to start it. 3, 1, 3, shift. 3, 2, 3, 1. We're only coming back a semitone, so, no biggie. Ready, play. Again, play. One more time, ready, go. Now stay in second position. It's really easy if you do. Back to third position there. Okay, so the fingers are marked clearly on your music, but I advise that you pick up a pen or pencil and put the shifts in so you don't get stuck there and you don't even have to think about it. From 19 again, and this time we'll continue on because the solo is super similar to stuff you've played before. Ready, and 1 and 2. Shift up, hold there, shift. just play bar 25 again. We have that low 3 coming in for C sharp. No, you can't use a high 2 then a low 2, it's way too fast. Low 3. When shall we shift to third position? Oh yeah, while we play the open E. Don't wait, okay? If you're playing, oh, too late. Make sure you go as your bow's playing the E. Ready, go. Shift. Save your bow. 1 and 2. Get to the frog. 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 Stop there. Okay, we're going to play those 2 lines again. Bar 25 up to bar 30. Because we want the bow moving slowly even though the fingers are moving fast. If you have a fast bow and fast fingers, you will quickly have a disaster. So slow right arm, speedy thinking on the left hand. Let's play from the low 3 again. Ready, and shift. Save your bow, go slow. 4. Get to the frog. Get to the frog. 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 Okay, one more time, those 2 lines, just a little bit faster. Ready, and 1 and shift. 1 and 2. Frog. 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 Now we're going to shift to first position and we go running along through lots of scale patterns. Let's play on at bar 30. Ready, and first position. Stop there. Let's play just that line again. It's not a bad idea to pencil the fingers in. Okay, just so that you're reading very fluently in third position and then we transit to first position, everything's fine. But just so it doesn't get fumbled and so you only play it correctly from the start. So if you need to pause me and write fingers in, do that. Bar 30, third position. Ready, and shift, shift, cross, play that line again. Ready, and shift, slow bow, slow bow. Now, bite. Stop there. There is a doozy in bar 33. It's this jump. Yeah? It's almost like just plucking the D string with your bow and then dropping your arm onto the E string. Dead arm, okay? Just cut off the power supply and let your entire arm drop and the bow will follow you onto E string. Again. So as I play the 3, I'm already dropping into the next note. I don't play, now drop. Too late. Okay, as I'm playing the 3 on D, my elbow is dropping like it's in an elevator. And life's a lot simpler. Make sure you do put just a tiny stop in between the notes so you can cross cleanly. And I know this is a gosset gavotte skill. No, it's not. I'm wrong. It's a minuet 2 skill. Same thing. But when you have semiquavers and you have a skip like that, I think it's just good to check that you're using great technique and you're not letting any shoddy habits sneak in. So from bar 32 again. Ready, and frog. Up. Down. Shift. Oh, familiar. I advise that you photocopy your music and you have the next page or the next line stuck beside you so you don't have to page turn. Makes life a bit simpler. Also a good idea to photocopy the back page and have that stuck beside the middle too, so that you've got 1, 2, 3 across and you don't have to page turn for the last page. Now, we know this from so this is a great point. If you've practiced your V2 part really well, V1 isn't a problem. If your V2 is still a bit clumsy and you're still stumbling over those semiquavers, they're going to be crappy here in V1. Oh, rats. So there is no shame at all in saying, I've learnt enough of V1. I'm going to go practice my V2 for a week and then come back and pick up. You're better off practicing what you know and refining your technique in a piece that you know than trying to play a new piece with great technique. That's really difficult. Don't do that. That's why we always go back to older pieces to learn new skills. Wherever possible, we try and introduce new ideas with pieces we already know. So let's play from 41, where we kick back in. Our V2 part has been soldiering along in the background. They give us this little introduction, and we cut them off. So make sure you're both set on G and that your whole right arm is on G and that you're sinking your tone down into the G string. Ready? 1 and 2. Drop, 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 drop. Shift up, down. Breath. 1 and 2. Shift up. Okay, time to just pause here and look at the next solo and think, gee, that looks kind of familiar. Huh. Now you've got two options for your fingering in bar 50. You can hop into third position or you can play it in first position. I usually just play it in first position. I'm a little bit lazy like that. And also, most of Bach was written in first position or in low positions. So, authenticity. Then in bar 51, end of bar 51, you're going to hop into third position. And those arpeggios look remarkably similar to the ones you played in V2. Spoiler, they're actually a little easier to play because you're in third position and you've got those resonant Ds at the bottom and the top of the phrase. You didn't have those nice handy ringing notes when you played the V2 part. So this is usually easier for most people. Yes. Again, easier if you've learnt V2 really well. Of course you have, so we're fine. Let's play from the solo, the upbeat to 50. Ready? 1 and 2. Stop and write the fingers, and if you need to, let's play the solo again. 2, 1, D. If you need to pause me and write fingers in, just do that. Ready? Solo and. Shift. Let me just point out one thing. It's just a slip that often happens in the V2 part. We go from make sure that you move your first finger back when you come across the strings. Because you go from C sharp to a G natural. You do the same thing in the V2 part, but I feel that's worth pointing out. One more time, we'll play the solo and then we'll continue on, I promise. Ready? Upbeat to 50. 1 and 2. Shift. Save your bow. and 3. Shift. Oh, this looks familiar. But let's just play that solo descent one more time because there's a note in there that usually goes wrong. Have a listen. Yeah, it's the third finger. We play an F sharp, then we play B flat. Worth marking in your music. Semitone. Tone. Horrible B flat. That scale is nasty and you do need to practice it a few times to get the third finger to move nicely. Let's play from ya da 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 58. Ready and oh, familiar. G. And we've moved back to first position. So as you play the open G, make sure your left hand does something special. From the solo bar again, 58, ready, and. Background. Whoa, what just happened? Yeah, those 2 bars are often a little bit disastrous. So let's play 67 again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. They're mostly disastrous because first and second finger move back and forth a lot. So take the bowing out and just play it back and forth. Again, those 8 notes, ready, play. Don't you love the augmented second from B flat to C sharp? It's awesome. Ready, play. Huge gap. Next one, second finger on. Make sure your F natural's nice and natural, not sharp. C sharp. F. I'm going to say G, not F. This is nasty because F natural, C sharp, bring it back. Again, ready, F. One more time, the F bar, go. No, the F phrase, go. Okay, try that whole bar, starting on the E natural. It's bar 67 in case you're lost and I'm leaving the bowing out. Hop. Cool, whole bar again. Ready, play. Next little chunk, next 8 notes. Start with your G ringing. Again, those 8 notes. Go. Again, go. Cool. Now let's add that onto the preceding bit. So we've got 8, 16, 24 notes. Ready? Bar 67, first finger on, play. Last little bit because it's so easy, let's add it on. And it's got that bow lift, which I really enjoy playing. Okay, let's do those 2 bars. Ready, and. If that's that's too fast, don't worry. Just hit pause and go practice it yourself a few times to get the fluency in. Let's put the bowing in. Ready, and... And make sure that your upper arm ignites that bow lift, okay? Don't let your hand and wrist do it because it sounds crappy. One more time, those last two bars. Last time, I promise. Great! Now we go up bow first on the next part. Getting a little bit of air under those phrases, it makes it a lot easier to get back to the frog if you take your bow off a fraction and hoik it up. If you try and play, it's really hard work and it sounds very flat. So a little bit of breath. Okay, much simpler. Okay. You ready? We're going to keep on running forwards. Hop to third position. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Don't shift down. See? Stay there, don't come down. Now. Oh, okay. I know that sounds really weird. Like I'm saying, stay there, don't come down. But you would be amazed how many people try to escape between bar 73 and 76. People just bail out at random. No, stay in third position. It's way easier. So let's play again from 73. Hop to third position straight away. We're on the A string. We're first finger on. And we're going to stay there. Resist the temptation to shift out. It will make your life difficult. Ready, and... One more time. I'll go a little bit faster. Don't bail out. If you need to, write the fingers in for every note. Do not let yourself bail. Ready? Third position. Pause me if you need to write the fingers in. Play. Shift, drop, 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 low three, shift, slide down, familiar, great. Come to second now. Stay there. Easy. I'm not going to play it again at tempo or even close to tempo. There are already videos on my channel that do that have just the V1 part, just the V2 part. You can duet against them, you can play in unison, you can play along with the duet. They're elsewhere on my channel, I promise. But that's a pretty good overview of the stuff that tends to trigger stumbles. Again, if you polish V2, this will be easy, I promise. And it'll be so well set up for La Folia. I was saying drop a lot, and I realized I didn't actually explain what I meant. But when you're playing this stuff, it's so much easier if you just cut the power to your right arm and let gravity happen and let the bow go from D to E. If you try and force it there and put it there all the time, you're playing every single note, and that's working way too hard. So whenever you're traveling from G to E, just think of cutting the power to your arm and letting the bow cross rather than putting it on a new string. You don't need to do that. It's a waste of effort. And it sounds so much nicer when you don't try. So try not to try. Good luck.